Okay, hello everyone. Hundred Fires here. Uh, just washed my hair, and it's been raining for days, like Noah's Ark type of raining. So that explains most of the frizz. The rest of it is my fault. Anyways, today's topic, I am going to share with you about the day I learned, or start over, the day I spoke English for the first time. Never really needed to. Everyone in the house spoke Spanish. Not an issue. And I am the youngest of my siblings, so I was not the first to go to school. However, excuse me, when I started, obviously, kindergarten, the school had 2 classes for every grade. And this particular day, I can't tell you exactly how far into the school year we were, but I wasn't shy. My reasons for never speaking up until that day was because I had nothing to say. I did a lot of listening, I did a lot of paying attention. By the way, the English as a second language, ESL classes, those things were non existent until around the time I got to high school. I know because I started working after school, helping prepare those classes. So when I was growing up, uh, basically you were just thrown into a class and you either picked it up somehow or you're screwed. For some reason, I was gifted with that ability to decipher the language everyone was speaking around me. Listening, paying attention, making mental notes for myself. And this just toss them in the pool and they'll learn how to swim type of learning tends to work for me. So don't knock it. However, I understand for another sibling of mine, going from full Spanish all the time to English was extremely difficult. And as smart as like genius type of person that my sibling is, I can't imagine how frustrating it was not being able to catch on. So one day we're in a class and they decide we're working on a project to make these beautiful butterflies. And they had the outline of the construction paper of the butterfly. And they shuffled all of us into into the other classroom. They pushed all those octagon tables together. And so we kind of were intertwined, the 2 classes with different students. So I'm sitting here, and of course the boys are elated because basically what they were told is, with your scissors, you're just going to shave the crayons. We were basically instructed in their eyes to destroy the crayons. What little boy doesn't love to destroy crayons? So these guys were just very vigorous with their... And of course, most of them didn't care what color they choose. Me, however, I don't do tacky. I'm color coordinated. So I knew what colors I wanted. I knew what colors were going to go with my butterfly. 1 or 2 colors on the bottom part, 1 or 2 colors on the top part. I had it all figured out. But going through that bucket of oddball crayons, and I sifted through that thing like a fine-tooth comb. I could not find my crayon. I had already done the one I needed, and I needed to do the second one. And I started looking and just kind of scanning the room. I was trying to figure out, how do I find this crayon? And then in a split second, I saw the boy next to me had that crayon I had been searching for. And he's sitting there destroying it, and it's dwindling into a tiny, smaller crayon while I suffer and stare at this destruction. And I'm like, what do I say? Now I have a moment in my school year where I need to speak to someone. I didn't know. I really didn't know. And so I was scanning the room, looking at all these other kids, and I heard all the way at the table directly across from us, someone said, "Can I have that?" And the other kid handed him whatever he wanted to have. Light bulb. So I just kind of tapped my hand in front of him and I said, "Can I have that?" And he's still going, "Yeah, I'm almost done. As soon as I finish." So I understood. I just needed to wait patiently as the crayon is diminishing. I'm looking at the kids, and these two boys pop their heads up. And I guess maybe this one was not in my class, but the other two probably were, because that was a voice they never heard before. And they lost it. They were like looking at each other. She spoke English. She knows how to speak English. She can speak English. They were trying to get the teacher's attention. This was a light bulb moment. This was aha. This was a miracle that they just witnessed. And they're trying to tell the teacher, who's too busy instructing us, we have a few more minutes before we have to finish up. So go ahead and start finishing up on your project. And I'm like, I don't want to hyperventilate, but I'm about to freak out because that crayon is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I don't know how much I'm going to need to destroy for my little beautiful butterfly to look as pristine as I want it to look, because I don't do tacky. Not even in kindergarten. These two boys were just, "Teacher, Miss So-and-so, Miss So-and-so," and she is talking over them because what they have to say isn't important. No. The fact that this child just spoke English and fluently with what I had to say, they were so frustrated because they wouldn't listen. Let me tell you, folks, these are these moments when kids realize adults are stupid. Pay attention. Adults are stupid. And it's a fact. Don't dismiss kids when they're trying to talk to you. Now, I understand you know your kid and they can be exaggerative or whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. Listen to them. You never know what could be coming out of their mouth. Just might be important to your life or whatever is going on. These poor boys, they got all the other kids excited, and they're all trying to get the teacher's attention as we're being shuffled out the door across the hall and shuffled into our classroom. I just kind of tapped the boys and I just shook it off like, even I knew. Pointless. They don't know. They don't care. Don't waste your breath. You're stressing over this adult who is not listening, who's not paying attention because her schedule, her timeline, what she needs to do, needs to get done. And I don't blame her. I understand. I do. But these poor boys, I appreciate how happy they were for this moment to happen. And they encouraged me to talk. Keep talking. Talk some more. It was a beautiful moment between the three of us. We shared that moment. It was awesome. So that was the day I spoke English. I was learning throughout, listening, but that was the first day I started speaking English. And I haven't shut up since. Oh, be good to each other. Listen truly with your heart, especially when little kids are talking. Regardless of how busy you are, when you come home, give them a few minutes. Just a few minutes, especially if they're excited. Let them tell you what they want to say. You'd be surprised how much you could learn from a child. Think about it.